Hello, I'm William Gallagher and this is the 58 Keys Writing Workshop set of videos. I tell you how I happen to write. Normally I tell you how I happen to write something and then you please disagree with me in the comments. The entire point is conversation, you and me, writer to writer. In this case, kind of want some guidance on here because this is something I think is important, something I care about, but it's not something I know how to do. It's also something I haven't had to do, which might be related to not knowing how to do it. Imposing morality on historical fiction. Don't do that. Must be something more to say than that. I have an issue that I'm really quite poor at anything historical. I'm writing a book set in the 80s and strictly speaking that is historical fiction. It's just unbelievable. But what I would consider actual, so the Druids or something, I'm really quite poor at believable dialogue for it, but that's, that's my problem there. I think as a viewer, I've become very conscious of the fact that the ethnic balance in historical fiction is better now than it used to be. And sometimes I think that's actually right. That it used to be, okay, so right, there was the actual historical period, then there's all the stuff where people were writing about it, and now there's now writing about it, and in a lot of cases the now are writing more accurately about the end. So it is 20th century values, 21st century values. How old am I? About I suppose diversity really is what I'm getting at in that case, being correctly applied and historically accurately applied to somewhere, and that's one thing. The stuff in the middle is the one that's wrong, the one that's kind of whitewashed the past and all this stuff, okay. But then there's also just what people did that was right and what people did that was wrong. We still have this compulsion that the heroes must always be right and the villains must always be wrong. And in your writing, in real life, things are a lot more nuanced than that, and it wouldn't half be dull if they weren't. But still, I think this comes down to a problem I also have of the writer's point of view on things. Sorry, this pops to mind the book I'm writing. Somebody criticised a chapter they saw saying it sounded like someone's sexual fantasy there, William. And it was a rush to tell them, well, not mine. Okay, not mine. I'm not really sure why I told you that. Having a situation that in our eyes is bad, how would you have felt about it at the time? And I'm trying to think of examples for this, but it's you can see it's hard because although I think about it in very general terms. I mean, and I can't escape my own morality of things. So there's a famous British TV show called Z-Cars, police procedural, and in episode 1, one of the main cast beats up his wife. I mean, it's just inescapably, inexcusably wrong, impossible for it to be anything else. And yet, in the 1960s, when that was done, how can this be true? And Z-Cars was such a great show, so well received. How can it not be foul? And it is foul, and yet it was somehow more acceptant. Or, well, let's go with sexism around the period. I love reading scripts, and I found a script to 1970 show UFO. Really enjoyed it at the time. I still think it's good, except, wow, the things men say to women in that show, and basically the shots of women's backsides in that show. It's so deeply uncomfortable, and yet, no, not as yet as I'm going to excuse it, it's just as yet, if I had to write something that was set at that time, would I not have to write it that same way? Make characters say, I mean, adults standing there saying these words, but they would have done then, and I'm setting a story then. Should I do it? No more than the sexual fantasy thing. I'm deeply afraid of somebody thinking that that's how I think about things. But it's our characters and it's a situation. And if I do impose my morality, then I am artificially making everybody, well, I think good, making them better. And I'm losing the juxtaposition that actually that kind of period drama gives us now. Isn't one of the reasons for period drama that the setup is different and that we see the world in different ways? Period drama is like science fiction. It's another way of looking at today. But with period drama, you have a responsibility to be accurate. You can see I'm struggling with this, but I think we all do, unless, of course, you don't. And you can tell me in the comments, William, you just do it. You say what they would have said. It's not hard. Plenty of examples. Get on with it. Sorry. I would take that. Still think about it though. Anyway, while I ponder about that, I need tea. How about you get some tea or coffee for yourself and then join me in the comments while we have a chat about this. I mean this. I cannot see a point of a conversation where it's just me telling you what I already think. I need to have a chat with you, writer to writer. So while we prepare our beverages of choice, thank you very much for watching. Now take care of yourself, write more, and I'll see you soon.